Chapter 1. The battle you fight every day, overthinking. Every morning, before the world asks anything of you, there's already a battle taking place. Not outside, inside. A battle between what is and what your mind keeps replaying. Between the moment you are standing in and the 1,000 moments your thoughts drag you into, this is overthinking. And it is one of the quietest enemies of a strong life. The Stoics understood something essential. A man is not defeated by events. He is defeated by his unchecked thoughts. And yet, most people wake up already surrendering. They surrender to worry, to doubt, to imagine futures and unfinished pasts. Before the day even begins, the mind has already spent its strength. A restless mind is not a powerful mind. You may think that constant thinking makes you prepared, that worrying makes you responsible, that replaying the past makes you wiser. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. A mind that never rests cannot judge clearly. A mind that chases every thought cannot stand firm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, not the quantity." Overthinking is not depth, it is disorder. And disorder weakens character. Most suffering today does not come from hunger, war, or danger. It comes from mental noise. Noise that says, what if it goes wrong? What if I fail? What if they judge me? What if I made a mistake? These thoughts feel urgent, but urgency does not mean importance. The Stoic learns to separate signal from noise. Not every thought deserves your attention. Here is a hard truth, and a freeing one. You do not have to obey every thought. Thoughts appear automatically. Attention is a choice. Epictetus reminded his students, if you wish to be invincible, make sure that no impression can overpower you. Overthinking happens when impressions rule you, instead of you ruling them. The Stoic does not chase thoughts. He questions them. Is this thought useful? Is it within my control? Does it prepare me for action? If not, it is dismissed. Not with anger, with discipline. Overthinking is an attempt to control the uncontrollable. At its core, overthinking is fear dressed as responsibility. The mind tries to predict every outcome because it cannot accept uncertainty. But Stoicism is built on acceptance. You cannot control other people, outcomes, the past, the future. Try to control them mentally only drains you. Seneca warned, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Overthinking is suffering without necessity, and unnecessary suffering is weakness, not virtue. Strength begins with mental order. The Stoics admired calm strength, not loud confidence, not constant motion, but inner order. A disciplined mind knows when to think, and when to stop, when to plan, and when to act, when to reflect, and when to let go. Overthinking blurs these lines. It keeps you stuck in preparation, when action is required. And action, not endless thought, is what builds character. You are the commander, not the crowd. Imagine your mind as a crowded room, voices talking at once, opinions shouting over each other. Overthinking happens when there is no leader. Stoicism teaches you to become that leader. You do not silence the room. You restore order. You decide, this thought can stay. That thought must leave. This is not suppression. This is command. And command creates peace. A Stoic life is not free of difficulty. It is free of unnecessary mental chaos. Overthinking does not make life safer. It makes life heavier. Clarity makes life lighter. This is where your training begins, not by forcing silence, but by choosing discipline, not by fighting thoughts, but by refusing to be ruled by them. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who decides which thoughts shape your life. And that decision, made daily, is the foundation of Stoic strength. Chapter 2. Control, Fear, and Illusion of Safety. The human mind craves certainty. It wants guarantees. It wants reassurance. It wants to know that nothing will go wrong. And when certainty is not available, the mind begins to overthink. This is not intelligence. It is fear searching for safety. The Stoics saw this clearly. They taught that most anxiety comes from trying to control what does not belong to us. Epictetus said it plainly. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. This is not just philosophy. It is a rule for survival. Overthinking is the mind grabbing for control. Overthinking feels active. It feels responsible. It feels protective. But ask yourself honestly, has worrying ever changed the outcome? Has replaying the past undone a mistake? Has imagining the worst prevented it? The Stoics would answer without hesitation, no. Overthinking is effort spent where no power exists, and power wasted becomes weakness. When you overthink, you are usually focused on what someone might think, what might happen tomorrow, what could have gone wrong yesterday. None of these are in your control, and the Stoic rule is simple. Do not invest energy where you have no authority. This is not apathy. This is precision. A disciplined mind spends strength only where it matters. The illusion of safety keeps you anxious. Here is the trap. The mind tells you, if I think enough, I'll be safe. But safety does not come from prediction. It comes from prepared character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Stoicism does not promise a safe world. It builds a strong individual, and strength removes fear. Overthinking is an attempt to build safety externally. Stoicism builds safety internally. A Stoic does not say, "Nothing bad will happen." He says, "Whatever happens, I will respond well." That single shift ends most anxiety. Fear grows when action is delayed. Overthinking thrives in inaction. The longer you wait, the louder the mind becomes. Why? Because action clarifies, thoughts multiply. A Stoic understands. Action reduces fear. Delay feeds it. You do not think your way out of overthinking. You act your way out. Even small action restores authority. Accepting uncertainty is strength. The Stoics trained themselves to face uncertainty head-on. They practiced negative visualization, not to scare themselves, but to remove surprise. They accepted loss is possible, failure is possible, rejection is possible, and by accepting this, they became unshakable. Overthinking resists uncertainty. Stoicism embraces it. And what you embrace no longer controls you. Control what is yours. Release the rest. Here is the Stoic division. Yours to control. Your effort, your values, your response, your attention. Not yours. Outcomes, opinions, timing, fate. Overthinking happens when you cross this line. Peace returns when you respect it. A disciplined mind does not chase safety. It becomes safe through character. It does not beg the future for reassurance. It prepares itself to meet whatever arrives. This is Stoic freedom. If this chapter resonated, it is because you recognize the pattern. You have been trying to control life instead of mastering yourself, and that ends here. Chapter 3. Discipline of Thought. How to stop feeding the mind. Every thought you entertain becomes stronger. Every thought you repeat becomes familiar. Every thought you believe becomes reality. The Stoics understood something modern minds forget. Thoughts are not commands. They are suggestions. And overthinking happens when you accept every suggestion without question. You are not your thoughts. This is the first discipline. Most suffering comes from identity confusion. You think, I am anxious. I am broken. I am an overthinker. The Stoic says, I experience thoughts. I am not them. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you are disturbed not by events, but by the view you take of them. A thought is not truth. It is an impression, and impressions can be rejected. The mind needs rules, not freedom. Modern culture says, express everything you feel. Stoicism says, govern what you allow inside. An undisciplined mind becomes chaotic. A disciplined mind becomes powerful. The Stoics practice mental gatekeeping. They ask, is this thought useful? Is it within my control? Is it aligned with my values? If not, it was dismissed. No argument, no rumination, no indulgence. Star the thought, not yourself. Overthinking survives on attention. What you feed grows. When you replay a worry, you reward it. When you analyze it endlessly, you strengthen it. Stoicism teaches, do not fight thoughts. Ignore them. Silence is starvation. A thought denied attention loses energy. A thought indulged gains power. This is why discipline beats insight. Replace analysis with principle. Overthinking asks, what if? Stoicism asks, what is my principle? Principles remove debate. For example, I act with courage. I speak truth. I do my duty. When a situation arises, you do not analyze endlessly. You consult your principle and act. Clarity replaces anxiety. Thought discipline is daily training. No Stoic believed mastery happened once. Marcus Aurelius wrote his journal every day, not to express feelings, but to correct thinking. He reminded himself what matters, what is not, who he must be. Overthinking returns when discipline fades. The mind is a muscle. Neglect weakens it. Silence the inner narrator. Overthinking often sounds like a voice telling a story. He meant this. She thinks that. This will end badly. These are narratives, not facts. Stoics stripped events down to raw reality. Instead of, this is humiliating, they said, I spoke. Someone disagreed. Remove interpretation. Keep reality, and anxiety collapses. Focus on the present task. The Stoics live by one rule. Do what is in front of you well. Overthinking pulls you into imaginary futures. Stoicism anchors you in now. When the mind wanders, return to the task, return to the breath, return to the moment. Presence is the enemy of rumination. Mental discipline creates emotional stability. You cannot control emotions directly, but you can control the thoughts that create them. Stoicism is not emotional suppression. It is emotional mastery. A calm mind produces calm action. A disciplined mind produces confidence, and confidence silences overthinking. This chapter is where many fail, because discipline is uncomfortable, but comfort is the enemy of peace. Chapter 4. Detachment without coldness, caring without overthinking. Most people think detachment means indifference. The Stoics knew better. Detachment is not caring. It is caring without losing yourself. Overthinking happens when attachment turns into fear. Fear of loss, fear of judgment, fear of outcomes you cannot control. Attachment is the root of mental noise. You overthink what you cling to: approval, relationships, outcomes, control. Epictetus warned, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Not because foolishness is good, but because freedom begins where approval ends. Care about effort, release the outcome. Stoicism draws a sharp line. Effort is yours. Outcome is not. Overthinking lives in outcomes. Peace lives in effort. When you focus only on what you control, your preparation, your integrity, your response, the future loses its grip. You stop rehearsing disasters that may never come. Emotional distance is strength, not weakness. Stoics train emotional distance the way soldiers train endurance. Not to feel nothing, but to feel less violently. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Detachment shortens suffering. It allows emotion to pass through you, not lodge inside you. Stop personalizing everything. Overthinking assumes everything is about you. Stoicism teaches a humbling truth. Most things have nothing to do with you. People act from their own fears. Events follow nature. Outcomes obey chance. You are a participant, not the center. And this realization is freeing. Accept loss before it arrives. This sounds harsh, but Stoics practice premeditatio malorum, the contemplation of loss, not to depress themselves, but to weaken fear. When the mind rehearses loss calmly, loss loses its power. You stop overthinking because you stop resisting reality. Love without possession. Stoics love deeply, but without chains. They reminded themselves, this is a human being, not a guarantee. When you release the need to possess, jealousy fades, anxiety fades, overthinking fades, love becomes cleaner. Detachment sharpens judgment. Emotional entanglement clouds reason. Detachment clarifies. When you step back, you see patterns. You make better decisions. You act deliberately. Overthinking disappears when clarity enters. Peace is chosen, not given. Nothing external grants peace. Not success, not relationships, not certainty. Peace is an inner posture. Stoics chose calm, even in chaos, and you can too. This chapter teaches the hardest truth. You must loosen your grip to regain control. Chapter 5. The courage to act. Why overthinking is avoidance. Overthinking is not intelligence. It is fear wearing the mask of analysis. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology gave it names. They knew when the mind circles endlessly, it is often running away from action. Overthinking delays responsibility. Action demands accountability. Overthinking delays it. If you keep thinking, you never have to risk being wrong, never have to face consequences, never have to grow. Marcus Aurelius warned himself, you can leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Urgency dissolves overthinking. Clarity comes after action, not before. Most people wait to feel ready. Stoicism reverses this. You act first. Clarity follows. The mind is not a crystal ball. It learns by movement. Action tests reality. Overthinking invents it. Fear hides inside. What if? What if I fail? What if they judge me? What if it goes wrong? These questions sound rational, but they're emotional. Stoics did not ask what if. They asked, what is required now? Focus on duty, not speculation. Small actions break mental loops. Overthinking thrives in stillness. Movement starves it. The Stoics favored simple, immediate acts. Write one line, take one step, speak one honest sentence. Action ground the mind in reality. Courage is not loud. Stoic courage is quiet. It does not announce itself. It simply moves. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Overthinking is wasted life energy. Stop asking for certainty. Certainty is a myth. Life offers probabilities, not guarantees. The Stoic accepts uncertainty and moves anyway. When you accept risk, the mind relaxes. The present moment is enough. Overthinking escapes the present. Stoicism anchors you here. Right now, you have breath, you have choice, you have agency. That is enough to act. Discipline beats motivation. Waiting for motivation fuels overthinking. Discipline bypasses it. Do the thing, even without confidence. Confidence arrives after. Action builds self-trust. Every avoided action weakens self-trust. Every completed action restores it. Overthinking grows when you stop trusting yourself. Action rebuilds that trust brick by brick. This chapter ends with a simple command. Do something, not perfectly, not fearlessly, just deliberately. Chapter 6. Training the Stoic Mind. Daily practices to silence overthinking. Overthinking is not solved by insight alone. It is solved by discipline repeated daily. The Stoics didn't wait for the mind to behave. They trained it like a muscle. Morning premeditation, premeditatio malorum. Each morning, the Stoic asks, what could go wrong today? Not to worry, but to remove surprise. When difficulty arrives, it no longer shocks you. Overthinking feeds on the unknown. Preparation starves it. Control the first thought. You cannot control every thought, but you can control the second. Epictetus taught, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them. When a first anxious thought appears, pause, label it, question it, do not follow it. Write to empty the mind. The Stoics journal constantly, not to sound intelligent, but to unclog the mind. Write what you fear. Write what you cannot control. Write what is required. Once written, the mind releases its grip. Voluntary discomfort. Comfort amplifies overthinking. Discomfort sharpens clarity. Cold water, hard exercise, silence, simplicity. The Stoics practiced discomfort to remember they were stronger than their fears. One task at a time. Overthinking multiplies when attention splits. Stoicism demands one task, one moment, one effort. Multitasking fragments the mind. Focus heals it. Nightly review. Before sleep, ask, what did I do well? Where did I overthink? What will I do better tomorrow? No judgment, only correction. This trains calm accountability. Reduce inputs. Too much information fuels anxiety. The Stoics valued selective silence. Less news, less scrolling, more stillness. A quieter world creates a quieter mind. Practice negative visualization briefly. Imagine losing what you value, then return to gratitude. This grounds you in appreciation and dissolves obsession with imagined futures. Align with values, not mood. Mood fluctuates. Values remain. When you live by principle, decisions simplify. Overthinking fades because your compass is clear. Accept mental weather. Some days the mind storms. Do not fight it. Do not analyze it. Observe. Endure. Continue. Even storms pass. This chapter leaves you with a daily structure. Morning, prepare. Day, act. Night, reflect. Simple, unbreakable. Chapter 7. Detachment. Freedom from outcomes and opinions. Overthinking survives on attachment. Attachment to outcomes. Attachment to approval. Attachment to how things should be. Stoicism cuts these chains, not to make you cold, but to make you free. The dichotomy of control. The Stoics return to this endlessly because it ends mental suffering. You control your effort, your attitude, your response. You do not control results, other people, timing. Overthinking begins when you demand control where none exists. Release that demand and peace follows. Let go of outcomes. Commit to action. A Stoic acts fully, then releases a result. You plant the seed. You water it. You walk away. Overthinking happens when you keep digging up the seed to check if it's growing. Opinion is the root of anxiety. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Events are neutral. Your judgment creates the suffering. Change the judgment. The pain dissolves. Indifference to praise and blame. Overthinking often asks, what will they think? The Stoic asks, was it virtuous? Was it honest? Approval fades. Character remains. Detach from identity labels. I am an anxious person. I am an overthinker. These labels trap the mind. Stoicism teaches, you experience thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Identity loosens. Freedom expands. Accept impermanence. Everything changes. Everything passes. Overthinking resists impermanence. Wisdom flows with it. When you accept that nothing is permanent, you stop clinging. Accept misunderstanding. Not everyone will understand you, and they don't need to. Trying to be understood by all is mental slavery. Silence protects energy. Let others be themselves. You cannot think your way into controlling others. Release them. People act from their own wounds, not your failures. Stop rehearsing conversations. Imaginary arguments drain real strength. If it must be said, say it calmly. If not, let dissolve. Rehearsal is a form of fear. Choose inner approval. When you approve of your own conduct, external approval loses power. You sleep better. You think less. You live more. Detachment is not withdrawal from life. It is engagement without bondage. Chapter 8. The Quiet Mind, Living Fully Without Overthinking. Overthinking is mental noise, a storm that drowns clarity and drains energy. Stoicism teaches that a calm mind is a superpower, a life fully lived. The power of the present moment. Overthinkers live in the past or the future. Regret, what-ifs, should-haves, maybes. These chains are illusions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, confine yourself to the present. The present is where life happens. Act, observe, breathe, be alive. Mindfulness is Stoic awareness. Being mindful is not modern fluff. It is ancient discipline. Notice your thoughts. Label them without attachment. Return to what is real. A quiet mind is not empty. It is focused and alive. Daily journaling for mental clarity. Seneca wrote letters not only to friends, but also to himself. Writing thoughts clears the mind, separates reality from imagination. Write your worries. Question them. Release them on paper. Your mind stops spinning in circles. Practice the pause. Before reacting, pause. Before worrying, pause. Before fearing, pause. Even a single breath can break the cycle of overthinking. Courage to face uncertainty. Overthinking is fear disguised as planning. Stoicism teaches courage. Accept uncertainty. Embrace it. Trust your ability to navigate it. You do not need to predict everything to live fully. Develop a daily ritual. Rituals anchor the mind. They provide rhythm and stability. Morning reflection, midday mindfulness, evening gratitude. Structured habits reduce mental chatter. The power of silence. Speak less. Think less about what others think. Your silence becomes your strength. Overthinking fades when you no longer amplify the noise of external judgment. Focus on what you can improve. Stop spiraling on what you cannot change. Channel energy into action and improvement, skill development, emotional resilience, physical strength. Action clears the mind more than endless thought. Accept life as it is. Overthinking fights life. Stoicism flows with it. Life is unpredictable. Life is brief. Life is yours to experience fully. Resistance breeds worry. Acceptance breeds serenity. Live with purpose. Purpose grounds a mind. When your mind has a mission, thoughts serve you instead of enslaving you. A stoic overthinker transforms into a stoic doer. Final thought. Overthinking is not your identity. It is a habit. You can observe it, control it, and release it. Through daily practice, detachment, and courage, your mind becomes quiet, strong, and free. Live fully, act with virtue, focus on what matters. In silence, the mind becomes your greatest ally.